Good evening. We are glad you're watching Eyewitness News at 6 this Saturday. I'm Calvin Sneed in for Joy Dukes this weekend. Anger and protests over the death of George Floyd spread to dozens of cities across the country Friday night and into today. Everywhere from New York to the White House to Los Angeles to even Chattanooga. In some cities, protesting turned violent with police cars set on fire, businesses smashed and burned, and many injuries. Some of the larger cities are calling in the National Guard to help beef up overwhelmed police forces. Yesterday alone, there was protesting in more than 24 cities, many of the marches peaceful and vocal, but some of which turned violent. Those city leaders are worried the same thing will happen tonight. In Chattanooga, there's a protest taking place at the Walnut Street Bridge right now. That's where we find our Mary Frances Hoots. She joins us now live with more. Mary Frances, what are you seeing in the protests?
Well, Calvin, we just came from Miller Park and a really big turnout at that protest, probably around 100 people. That one was a silent protest. A lot of signs. We just got to Miller Park. This protest started just a minute ago, about 6 o'clock. And as you can see, there's a pretty big turnout over here. More people are expected to come. They are going to march across the Walnut Street Bridge to the courthouse, and you can see signs like "White silence kills Black lives," "White people stop the violence," "When will we be heard? We have family too." And I spoke with a couple protesters who said that could have easily been their family, and so they wanted to stop. And I talked with also a protester, the organizer of the one at Miller Park, and said they didn't really want it to be a riot or get into looting because that takes the focus off of the murder, and he says he just wants the violence to stop.
Enough is enough. I think everybody's sick of it, and we're here posted up where we're here telling everybody that we're done with all of it. Like no one is. You see it all over the country now. Like America's exploding. It's tearing apart because everybody's sick of what's going on.
But yeah, in a lot of other cities, there's been some riots, some looting, some violence breaking out, and that's not the message they wanted to get across here. They wanted it to be a peaceful protest, but they still want their voices heard, so they plan on marching across the bridge and holding their signs and screaming for what they believe is right. So once more people arrive, the turnout gets up a little bit more. They plan on marching to the courthouse, and then that's where they will end. And we'll have a full recap of all the protests, all the different protests going on in Chattanooga tonight at 11. Reporting live, Mary Frances Hooch, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Mary Frances.